Tonight, our border battle and a Premier who just won't budge. Anastasia Palaszczuk stands firm on cutting Queensland off.
Let's be very clear. I will always put Queenslanders first, okay? That's my job.
It's looking pretty thin from the medical point of view.
Thin for the bottom line too. Gold Coast businesses at breaking point, with many facing the real risk of never recovering. The car thief who got a little too close to the fire, sparking a police manhunt on the Gold Coast. And Dally M drama raids across Sydney as a betting scandal plagues the Coach of the Year award.
This is 10 News First Queensland with Georgina Lewis.
Good evening. It's the battle that's been brewing for weeks, and today our border closures turned into all-out war. The Premier has come out all guns blazing, refusing to bow to pressure to open Queensland to the rest of the nation. Let's go straight to our state political reporter Claire Barnes. Claire, Anastasia Palaszczuk won't budge, and she's making no apologies about it.
Well, Georgie, not only is she standing firm, but it was revealed today our borders could be closed even longer than September, depending on what happens until then. The Premier is really stuck between a rock and a hard place on this issue. If the government opens the borders too soon, it will get blamed for a potential outbreak. But the longer they remain closed, the more frustration grows. Shooting down criticism after shutting off the state.
Let's be very clear. I will always put Queenslanders first, okay? That's my job, to put Queenslanders first.
The Premier faces relentless questions over calls to let Southerners back in.
Western Australia has a hard border closure. Northern Territory has a border closure. South Australia has a border closure. And Tasmania has a border closure. This is not unique to Queensland, folks.
Queensland closed to the rest of the country in March for the first time in a century. But after weeks of lockdown, some in the tourism sector fear it won't survive.
And I'm sorry for that. I am so sorry for that. And you know what? When we all get through this together, I'll be the #1 supporter going down there and urging people to come here.
Because getting it wrong risks going backwards.
Early on in this pandemic, we were doubling our case numbers every 3 days. From my point of view, it was terrifying. When we saw that curve going up, it was just going straight up.
The government's own roadmap says interstate travel will be reviewed in July. It's since been penciled in for September, but today a warning, even that could be ambitious.
Having said that, I can't even commit that September will be possible. It depends what happens between now and then.
What we're calling on the government to do is stick by what they've told tourism businesses and Queenslanders and stick to July. You can't flip-flop on this issue.
Federal advice casting doubt on the hard line by states.
Any rationale that might have been there around state border closures, whilst that's up to the states themselves to decide, it's looking pretty thin from the medical point of view.
The big roadblock to reopening the border is the higher level of community transmission in southern states. The Premier insists until that's under control, she won't budge.
There are over 300 active cases in New South Wales at present, where we have 12. There are 100 active cases in Victoria at the moment, where we have 12.
I would love to give everyone certainty. I'd love to have it myself, but we can't. This is a day-by-day development.
Which each day divides more Queenslanders. Claire Barnes for 10 News First.
On the front line of the border shutdown, Gold Coast businesses are at breaking point. Many say they can't hold on any longer as tourism authorities predict another $500 million loss before interstate visitors can return.
The loss of interstate tourists is hitting the hardest in Coolangatta. Just metres from the New South Wales border, businesses have lost thousands of customers and millions in income.
Sales have completely dropped, tourism's no longer here. The vibe of Coolangatta is pretty much shattered.
With an 80% drop in earnings, many had been hanging on for the border to reopen in July, a last hope that's been dashed.
So if the tourist industry wants a realistic scenario, then they should be preparing for September.
The 1st of September seems such a long way away, but if we had something in the shorter term, within a month or 5 or 6 weeks before the next holidays, would give them a lot of pleasure.
Gold Coast hotels had started to see a slight increase in advance bookings after July. They will now likely disappear, keeping occupancy rates to below just 4%.
What we would expect at this time of year usually is around 84 or 85% occupancy. That is dire straits for the tourism sector.
Destination Gold Coast estimates that keeping the borders closed for another 2 months will cost the city's tourism market another $500 million.
People will start to fall off the cliff, and the more people that do that, the harder it's going to be for the whole economy to come back.
The drop in the number of passengers into the Gold Coast airport is just as alarming, down a whopping 99% on last year from more than 500,000 to just 2,000 last month. It's another massive blow for businesses.
We probably get down about 25% through all the flight crews that are overnight with Virgin, Qantas and Jetstar, so all of that revenue is lost.
Pressure is increasing to reopen the major theme parks with concessions around social distancing to try and attract as many domestic tourists as quickly as possible.
The theme parks reopening will immediately cause an increase in the drive market.
That may have little impact though if the border remains closed until September. Matthew Howard for 10 News First.
The diplomatic fight between Australia and China has escalated yet again. In the latest insults to be traded, Beijing has likened us to a dog of US President Donald Trump.
The Morrison government insists there is no trade war.
To speculate outside that is dangerous.
But at the very least, there's now an ugly war of words, with Chinese state media lashing Australia as a giant kangaroo that serves as a dog of the United States.
We focus on Bendigo, not Beijing or Boston. Our decisions are made in the interests of Australian citizens.
Beijing is calling for the Commonwealth to give up its political manoeuvre, claiming the global COVID review agreed upon yesterday was actually a slap in the face to Australia and will be completely different to what PM Scott Morrison was seeking.
Clearly there are trade tensions between the countries. It's no point pretending that that's not the case.
Our government will first locally appeal the 80% tariff slapped on barley imports, which many consider retaliation for the probe.
Personally, I think we're too reliant on China. I think it would be wise to have a lot of different markets lined up. OK, if we take a slightly lower price, so be it.
Other industries such as dairy, wine and tourism are growing increasingly concerned.
There's always going to be tensions and always going to be disruptions. What we want the government to do is to try and minimise those.
But from barley to Australia's raw wool industry is also heavily reliant on China.
Certainly a lack of competition in the raw wool market at the moment, and the various Chinese processors are competing amongst themselves.
But it doesn't consider the relationship vulnerable.
Sees certainly no risks in the foreseeable future to that continuing.
Trade Minister Simon Birmingham says he won't be drawn into cheap politicking after China's ambassador to Australia labelled the government's push for an inquiry a joke. But for Aussie farmers, the situation is anything but funny. Tegan George for 10 News First.
President Trump is trading insults with his so-called Democratic enemies, again claiming the Speaker of the House is sick and that his predecessor was the worst in history. It comes on the same day he said he was proud that America was leading the world in COVID-19 cases.
America first. First in the world to pass 1.5 million coronavirus infections.
I view it as a badge of honour. Really, it's a badge of honour. It's a great tribute to the testing.
Donald Trump is also proudly taking hydroxychloroquine, rejecting a study that found it increased the death rate in veterans.
There was a false study done where they gave it to very sick people, extremely sick people, people that were ready to die.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi led today's chorus of criticism.
Especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese.
Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems.
She's not Trump's only punching bag. He's ditching a long-standing tradition to unveil Barack Obama's portrait, refusing to invite his predecessor back to the White House.
I think President Obama was one of the worst presidents in the history of our country.
Doing what feels good, what's convenient, what's easy, that's how little kids think.
There was bickering in the Senate too. The Treasury Secretary warned of permanent economic damage if the lockdown is extended.
How many workers will die if we send people back to work without the protections they need, Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Senator, we don't intend to send anybody back to work without the protections.
That's what happened at this New Jersey gym. The owner arrested for opening up against state orders.
I'm more afraid that my kids aren't going to have rights.
By tomorrow, all 50 states will have begun loosening restrictions 2 months after Americans were ordered into lockdown. Yet, only 2 of them have met federal guidelines to reopen. Eamon Ashton-Atkinson for 10 News First, New York.
A masked criminal is on the run after triggering a dangerous explosion in a quiet suburban street on the Gold Coast. Brendan Savage joins us now. Brendan, just what was this man doing?
Georgie, it looks like he was trying to cover his tracks after dumping a car in a dead-end street at Southport. CCTV shows the man park the black Holden Barina that had been stripped of its rego plates on the edge of a driveway on Cook Close. Late at night in early May, the offender jumps out of the car carrying a container full of some sort of accelerant and proceeds to pour it all over the front seats. But he gets more than he bargained for when the car is set alight. It triggered an explosion which partially engulfs the man before he scurries off into the night. Fortunately, fire crews were on the scene within minutes, and while there was no hope of saving the car, they managed to prevent the flames from threatening nearby homes. Police are asking for witnesses or anyone with CCTV or dashcam footage showing anything suspicious that night to come forward.
Thank you, Brendan, with that update. A police strike force has launched a series of raids over suspicious betting activity at last year's NRL Dally M Awards. At the centre of the probe is the Coach of the Year award that went to Melbourne Storm's Craig Bellamy. Alice Hogg is at NRL headquarters. Alice, what exactly have police seized?
Well, police have been investigating this matter for months, and today that resulted in 3 Sydney properties being raided with documents, computers and other electronic devices being seized. Now, of course, this relates to the unusual betting activity that was seen at last year's Dally M Awards, specifically relating to the Coach of the Year gong, which went to Craig Bellamy. He wasn't the favourite that was tipped to necessarily win, and yet there were a flurry of late bets made on Bellamy, which we understood led to a punter receiving around $20,000. Now, there are no suggestions that Bellamy or the NRL are involved in any way, and yet police do have to investigate these suspicious bets, and so that has led to 2 Sydney homes and a business here being raided, and of course those items seized. Now, those contents will be examined by Strike Force detectives as their investigations continue. At this stage, though, there have been no arrests.
Thank you, Alice, in Sydney. Coming up, the major move that could see mine bosses locked up for industrial manslaughter. Also, the brother of King's Cross identity, John Ibrahim, jailed for up to 30 years. Plus, the wild weather that left a neighbourhood in tatters. And after a year out of the game, one of the NRL's modern-day greats is coming out of retirement.
It's one of the biggest food trends to hit the globe.
This box is a little bit different.
And what our MasterChef contestants do will take it to a whole new level.
That's your best yet. It is bloody delicious.
7:30 tonight on 10. And the greatest dish ever seen in the MasterChef kitchen.
My God. Wow.
Is coming.
We're shaking things up, Queensland.
With Containers for Change, you get 10 cents for every eligible drink container at your local container refund point. To find out where to cash in, visit containersforchange.com.au.
Let's do it, baby. It's on, mate.
Make this Saturday one to remember. Get best tote on all exotics on every race across all Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide races. PointsBet.
Can't wait to get back to the footy. Oh, so good. Oh, there's been a spill. He picks up the crumbs, goes left, goes right. He's done it back in the bathroom.
Hot food, just $3 at 7-Eleven.
Save up to 15% on your first year's premium when you get a new Allianz comprehensive car insurance policy online.
Hey, good to go.
Thanks. Get that Allianz feeling. Search for a quote today.
Go ahead, give your taste buds a thrill and think beyond the flame and grill. Sausage baked, rolled, pan-fried or in a stew. You'll love all the things our sausages can do. The British Sausage, Ham and Bacon Company. Australian made, the British way.
The BHP Vital Resources Fund is supporting community organisations providing essential community services during the coronavirus challenge. For more information, visit bhp.com/vitalresources.
With McDelivery, Macca's comes to you. With contact-free options, you can enjoy all your Macca's favourites delivered to you via the Uber Eats app and Deliveroo.
Let's do it, baby. It's on, mate.
Make this week one to remember. Run second, third or even fourth and get money back in bonus up to $50 on selected races every day. PointsBet.
I appeal to the woman who has my son. Please give him back.
Someone might have been watching your house from out there.
What?
She probably admires you in her own strange way.
What have you done? Who have you hurt?
Aggie? Hi. You came.
I didn't know if we should bring him. I felt insensitive.
No, it's okay.
The secrets she keeps tonight after MasterChef.
Well, good afternoon. Some wet conditions starting to make their way in from the north this afternoon up around the Bruce Highway, where we've already had a couple of crashes and big delays pretty much from the Pine River Bridge all the way up to about Burpengary. A crash now on the Pacific Motorway heading outbound through Greenslopes, 1-2 on Sandgate Road coming down through Nunda. Not too bad on the Western Freeway outbound through Indooroopilly. That's looking fairly good. The Riverside Expressway and Captain Cook Bridge in towards the city, that's doing A-OK. And the run up the Gateway, a little under speed through Brackenridge, but certainly not doing too badly. I'm Dave Andrews. Thanks to Mount Gravatt Skoda. And Georgie, another check coming up later in the bulletin.
We'll speak to you again soon. Thanks, Dave. The first of 5 workers injured in an explosion at a Moranbah coal mine has been released from hospital as 4 others continue to fight for life. Tough new legislation has been passed through Parliament. For more on this, let's go to Chris Campy. Chris, what do the new laws mean?
Georgie, we've seen the introduction of industrial manslaughter laws to the mining sector specifically, and that's arguably something that should have already been in place according to unions. In short, it means that if an investigation into a death on a mining site finds that negligence was a contributing factor, that these new laws could then be applied to individuals and also to companies. Of course, this comes as Queensland's latest mining disaster is still being investigated, that at Anglo American's Moranbah operation. Now, some good news there. Turi Wiki is the first of those 5 injured miners to be released from hospital. His injuries have improved to a point where he can now continue his recovery at home with his wife and children. Now, this explosion put this matter right in front of the Mines Minister, and he was on the front foot the day after in Moranbah, pushing for not only a thorough investigation into this latest gas ignition, but also these changes which he put on the table in Parliament today.
The safety of all workers in this industry is absolutely paramount, and as Queensland seeks to recover from the ongoing economic crisis as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, every effort must be made to ensure this industry and so many others can continue to operate to create more jobs and continue to provide a safe working environment for all.
Now, of course, 4 men do remain in critical conditions, fighting for their lives following this incident. The investigation into what went so horribly wrong continues in Moranbah. There are nine investigators currently working this case. They'll be joined by specialists later this week as they go through the evidence that they found at the scene of the explosion and after recreating the events that led up to it.
Thank you, Chris, at State Parliament. A major Sydney drug kingpin has been jailed for up to 30 years. Mustafa Ibrahim, also known as Michael, was arrested in a police sting that exposed an operation to smuggle in thousands of kilos of drugs and illegal tobacco.
Mustafa Ibrahim was the middleman for a global drug ring, which he believed would make him millions. Instead, he's earned 2 decades behind bars.
I am satisfied that the offender played a senior role. He was personally invested and obtained a substantial financial benefit.
The brother of King's Cross identity, John Ibrahim, was arrested in 2017 for his role in a sophisticated plot to import 1,800 kilos of MDMA, 136 kilos of cocaine and 15 kilos of ice into Australia, as well as truckloads of tax-free tobacco.
His involvement operated to make the various pieces fit together and assured that the drug enterprises ran smoothly by reducing the risk that they would be ripped off.
His biggest mistake was pledging to be the right-hand man to an undercover cop who'd offered him means to get drugs into the country without detection. His response was, "We're going to make millions." Million a week, we're talking tens of millions, even making hundreds of millions of dollars. Today, though, far from the lavish lifestyle he'd imagined, the 42-year-old sat deflated in prison greens as he was sentenced to 30 years in jail. The court heard that Ibrahim's time in custody is likely to be onerous because his 72-year-old mother can no longer visit him due to a medical condition. The judge accepted that she is unlikely to see her son again as a free man. With time already served, he'll be eligible for release in 2035. Kimberly Pratt for 10 News First.
The daughter of an elderly woman who was killed in a dog attack south of Sydney has spoken of her anger and devastation. Police are now looking for witnesses to the attack, and we warn some details in this story are confronting.
This is my mother. Mum celebrated her 90th birthday on the 5th of October last year.
Sally Holland was still so full of life, but one Sunday morning in March, while walking on her favourite beach in Jervis Bay, she died a violent, terrifying death, savaged by 3 killer dogs.
And they were running back and tearing at her and going away and prancing around, having a grand old time and keep on going back.
Daughter Gloria was also attacked along with another woman and a couple, but it was Sally who bore the brunt of the dog's rage.
All of them had bared teeth, blood around their mouths, skin in their teeth, and the next thing, they pounced on me and they got me down.
Their owner, Adam Newbold, told police he has no idea how his pets got out and denies they're aggressive.
That contact is ongoing and will certainly be subject of close scrutiny.
But Gloria is angry after helplessly watching her mother die.
Because I wanted to get down there, I wanted to protect her, and I couldn't.
The dogs were taken away by council rangers and destroyed that same night. It's a swim and a walk that Sally did every day, and it's one that she should have been able to do without fear of such a savage dog attack. Police would like to speak to anyone else in this area who may have encountered these dogs in the days or even the weeks before Sally was killed.
It's certainly relevant to the investigation that we get a pattern of information that may be relevant to the care and control of these animals.
For Sally's family, nothing will bring her back. What they want now is justice. Steve Hart for 10 News First.
Victorian residents have been forced to scramble for cover as a terrifying freak storm ripped apart their homes. They say they heard an almighty roar before the wild weather left their neighbourhood in ruins.
From every angle, there was chaos and destruction. Rows of homes devastated by a violent freak storm.
It's like a war zone, yeah.
Garage doors were crumpled, trampolines were sent flying.
Thunder, lightning and really loud bangs, and it was
pretty scary, actually.
And tiles turned to missiles. One pierced the windshield of a car and landed on the front seat.
Like a tornado has gone through, just this loud noise. I was actually frightened. I thought I was going to get under the table. That's how loud it was.
Severe winds blew the roof off Simon Atkins' garage. It landed on his pergola, ripping part of that down too.
Heard this almighty roar, and it really did sound like a jet engine flying over the house.
A handful of properties were destroyed in minutes. Dozens more were damaged.
We've had about 4 houses which we've confirmed are completely uninhabitable.
One resident was injured when a window shattered on top of her. The mother of one was home alone when the severe weather hit.
And it was just like a steam train or something coming through. Hell of a noise and a bang. And then we heard the tree fall against the house.
The storm rolled in around midnight. It was fast but fierce. 2 streets in Warren Ponds copped the brunt of it. Homes in Mount Dunedin were also hit hard. Weather experts are now assessing the damage to determine exactly what type of weather event caused the destruction.
With severe storms, you can get tornadoes. You can also get what are known as downbursts or microbursts.
For residents and emergency crews, it's now a race against time to cover roofs and replace broken tiles before the next band of rain sweeps through tonight.
It's been a long night, so no sleep, but yeah, just really assessing the damage today.
Jade Kotick for 10 News First.
Time now for an early weather check. Josh, a deluge for the state's north.
Well, as we've just seen, the weather really starting to kick off across parts of Australia. Georgia, Queensland not immune. Let's dive into the north of the state. Now, Bulgan Creek, just near Tully, has picked up 339 millimetres to 9 o'clock this morning. Since then, we've seen another 78 millimetres fall. That brings the total to over 417 millimetres in the last 24 hours. Japan Vale also picking up 248 millimetres into the gauges. Down to the southeast corner of the state, and we're beginning to just see that rain ramp up across parts of the Sunshine Coast. Delaney's Creek has seen 25 millimetres since 9 o'clock. Upper Caboolture around about 11 millimetres, and I'm anticipating this rain will seep further southwards towards Brisbane as we get through tonight. Brisbane today hit 23 degrees, 22 the top in Ipswich and 18 degrees in Toowoomba. We'll have all the details on this rain event coming up at 5 to 6. Georgie.
Thank you, Josh. Ahead, Johnson & Johnson pulls its popular baby talc from shelves in the US and Canada. Also, the heartwarming reunion between 2 parents and a son kidnapped as a toddler. And the world's favourite veteran, Captain Tom Moore, to become a Sir.
Be simply clever and visit Mount Gravatt Skoda. With European styling and a host of clever features, once you experience a Skoda, you won't look back. Mount Gravatt Skoda. Simply clever on Logan Road, or visit mountgravatskoda.com.au.
It's one of the biggest food trends to hit the globe.
This box is a little bit different.
And what our MasterChef contestants do will take it to a whole new level.
That's your best yet. It is bloody delicious.
MasterChef's Mystery Box on 10.
It continues 7:30 tonight.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of craving something that I can't have. I finally found the right snack.
Controversy here in the forgot a grocery bag lifting. Russia disqualified. Unexpected item in the bagging area.
He tried to put that Evo through as a brown onion and got busted.
Thanks to Light and Easy, Australians of all ages can enjoy their choice of delicious, nutritious meals in the comfort and safety of their own home. Especially those at a greater health risk during these times. If you or someone close to you could benefit by having Light and Easy meals delivered safely with our contactless delivery service, visit lightandeasy.com.au or call us on 13 15 12.
Prepare for your great escape with Jayco. Dealerships are open and ready for your next adventure. With great deals across the entire range, there's an RV for every budget and every adventure. Need finance? We can help with that too. Get ready to escape and visit your local Jayco dealer today.
You don't give in. You don't give up. It's called Aussie Spirit, and it takes spirit to get through times like these. It's what inspires us to help. Together we'll get through this. Search Toyota, here to help.
OK, Dan, you know the drill. No, we don't stop there, Dan. This is new Up and Go no added sugar. The goodness of original Up and Go, only now available with no added sugar. Now we're talking, Dan. Now we're talking. New Up and Go no added sugar. It's next level goodness.
Welcome to Bunnings. We put measures in place to keep us all safe.
You can order online, drive to the store and collect with contact-free pickup.
You may have to queue on arrival to limit the amount of customers in store.
We're also limiting the number of people per aisle.
Protective screens have been installed.
And line markings and tables to keep us 1.5 metres apart. Contactless payment is preferred where possible.
We're doing the best we can to get you in and out of Bunnings quickly and safely. Thanks for your patience.
Australians of all ages are choosing Light and Easy. Light and Easy can even assist those on aged care home care packages. If you or someone close to you could benefit by having healthy meals delivered, call us on 13 15 12.
Different is making rather than buying, and saving rather than discarding. Embrace different and find the glad in it.
I appeal to the woman who has my son. Please give him back.
Someone might have been watching your house from up there.
What have you done? Who have you hurt?
Aggie, you came.
The secrets she keeps on 10 continues tonight after MasterChef.
Hello there. Panic buying, or a lack of it, last month has delivered a brutal blow to the shops. Retail spending has collapsed. Sales in April fell almost 18%. The Bureau of Statistics says it's the strongest fall it's ever published. Such a contrast to March, where spending recorded its strongest ever rise. So for retailers, the easing of restrictions can't come soon enough. And it's harder to find work. More than 18,000 job advertisements disappeared in April. That's a drop of more than 16% and is the largest monthly decline since the government started this type of analysis 14 years ago, meaning it's worse than the GFC. They're down almost 50% over the year. So of the 94,000 advertised jobs, where are the most opportunities? In health and information and communication positions. Now, we know the airports have been quiet because of COVID-19 restrictions, but figures from Sydney Airport show just how quiet. Just 92,000 passengers passed through last month. That's down 97.5%. In April last year, passenger traffic was 3.6 million people. To the share market, it's finished in positive territory for the fourth straight day. Myer up after confirming it's reopening more stores. And having a quick look at the dollar, it's buying 65.5 US cents. And that's finance.
The UK has passed another grim coronavirus milestone, with their death toll passing 35,000. A dramatic increase in testing has also picked up almost 250,000 infections. But that testing regime is allowing local travel to reopen at a time when many farms are desperate for workers.
Every year, large numbers of people come from countries such as Romania and Bulgaria to take part in the harvest. This year, we will need to rely on British workers to lend a hand to help bring that harvest home.
That's good news for more than 2 million Brits who have filed for unemployment since the lockdown began. Millions of people have been evacuated and millions more hunkering down as super cyclone Amphan closes in on the eastern coasts of India and Bangladesh. Amphan is currently churning in the Bay of Bengal and is expected to make landfall near Kolkata later tonight. It will be one of the largest storms to hit the region in a decade, with wind gusts of at least 200 kilometres an hour. Johnson & Johnson will stop selling their talc-based baby powder in the United States and Canada. The company is facing 16,000 lawsuits in America from customers claiming their products, including the powder, caused their cancer. But Johnson & Johnson says poor sales and misleading litigation advertising has led to the decision. The talc-based baby powder will still be available in Australia.
But where a safe alternative is available, then I do think it's worth exploring that avenue. There are some powders that don't have talc in them and that are cornstarch based, and that might be an alternative.
The company's Pacific branch says they remain steadfastly confident in the safety of the product. A man abducted as a toddler has finally been reunited with his parents 32 years later. Mao Yin was kidnapped outside a hotel in 1988 and sold to a childless couple who raised him as their own. His parents and police spent decades trying to find the missing child. The breakthrough came last month after facial technology led to a tip-off. The gratitude for Captain Tom Moore's fundraising efforts just keeps coming, with the British government announcing he will be knighted. Also an honorary colonel, he will soon be known as Captain Sir Thomas Moore. The centenarian is being recognised for his staggering efforts to raise more than $61 million for frontline health workers by walking around his garden. Well, stay with us. Tonight's top stories follow the break. Also, why it pays to be a pensioner instead of a self-funding retiree as super funds take a heavy hit. And Get Your Greek On will tell you how to enjoy Paniyiri without leaving your home.
Tonight we look into the use of hydroxychloroquine for preventing COVID-19. Is it a wonder drug or dangerous?
Would you want to self-isolate on an empty cruise ship? We speak to the Aussie who says it's not all smooth sailing.
And airlines are working out how to get us flying again safely for domestic travel. The safest thing you can do is hold your breath for the whole flight. Watch this.
Still an hour and a half to go, mate.
We've got ages, mate. We've got... I'll see you at 6:30.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
It's one of the biggest food trends to hit the globe.
This box is a little bit different.
And what our MasterChef contestants do will take it to a whole new level.
That's your best yet. It is bloody delicious.
7:30 tonight on 10. And the greatest dish ever seen in the MasterChef kitchen.
My God.
Wow.
Is coming.
Whether you're turning portraits into paintings and floors into art rooms, we're here for all those messy little moments.
Let's do it, baby.
It's on, mate.
Make this Saturday one to remember. Get best tote on all exotics on every race across all Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Adelaide races. PointsBet.
Amy has always helped Australians get back on the road. But now, more than ever, it's vital those on the front line get to where they need to be. That's why we're now offering free roadside assist to all doctors, nurses, hospital staff and first responders Australia-wide until the end of the year. Amy and non-Amy customers. Here's to supporting the everyday heroes who are supporting the rest of us. To take advantage of this offer, go to amy.com.au.
Lucky you're with Amy.
We believe experiencing life helps build your child's immunity and resilience. That's why we've developed Aptamil Toddler. With scientifically proven ingredients that nutritionally support their immune system and cognitive function. Build their resilience every day. Aptamil Toddler. Raise them resilient.
Domino's $5 pizzas are incredible value. They're made with fresh dough and vine-ripened tomato sauce, topped with stretchy and tastier mozzarella, and served with total peace of mind, thanks to zero contact pickup from Domino's.
Forget about your worries and your strain.
It's time to relax.
I nap a lot.
Chill out and let your hair down.
Let down your hair.
There's a bit of Disney Plus in all of us.
We're coming to you live from the scene. Tell us what you've got there. Toilet paper? Nah, just dinner stuff. Right. You must have paid an unprecedented price for that during these unprecedented times. Nah, they're from Aldi. Prices are always low. Let's just go.
Whatever happens, our low prices are here to stay. Aldi.
Good. Different.
Let's do it, baby. It's on, mate.
Make this week one to remember. Run second, third or even fourth and get money back in bonus up to $50 on selected races every day. PointsBet.
Hi guys, notice anything? Oh, look at these greys. For a second I thought, okay Grace, I'm ready to see you, but I'm not. I am not ready for this much gray.
Excellence Creme by L'Oreal Paris.
I don't think there's ever going to be a better before and after.
3 steps for 100% gray coverage and rich, radiant color.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Boom! Is what I'm talking about. Self-care is self-worth, because now more than ever, we're all worth it.
Well, hello again. As the rain continues to fall on the north side, the accidents continue to happen as well. A multi-vehicle crash has the Gympie Arterial Road northbound blocked just after Strathpine Road through Bald Hills. Delays all the way back now to Linkfield Road. Got big delays on the Bruce Highway still from around the Pine River Bridge up to Burpengary after a couple of earlier crashes. A multi-vehicle stack too on the Gateway northbound left lane. That's been blocked before Wayampa Road at Bald Hills, and that's got delays pretty much all the way back to Deagon, and a breakdown to make things worse on the Gympie Arterial Road through Castledine. I'm Dave Andrews. Thanks to Mount Gravatt Skoda. Have a great night. More traffic tomorrow.
Tonight's top stories: the Premier refusing to budge on Queensland's border closures, turning the battle with other states into an all-out war. The diplomatic fight between Australia and China escalates yet again as Beijing likens us to a dog of US President Donald Trump. And a bright spark on the run after getting a little too close to the flames while setting a car alight on the Gold Coast. There was a painful kick today for the nation's self-funded retirees. The COVID-19 economy and their investments are now so damaged they'd be better off on a pension. And to make matters worse, they say they're being ignored by Canberra.
They've scrimped and saved their whole lives to retire comfortably until now.
We've got this very bizarre situation in Australia at the moment, in fact almost a perverse situation.
In fact, the COVID-19 economy is so bad, self-funded retirees are worse off than pensioners.
And the pension is $24,500. With the stimulus packages, you're going to get another $750 in March and $750 in July. So you're getting almost $27,000 on the pension with the stimulus packages. But if you are a self-funded retiree with $1 million in the bank, you'll get $11,000 in bank interest.
And that's causing concern about the mental health of older Australians who now have no safety net.
Not only are they stressed because of the health concerns, and especially the over 65s and 70s going outside and potentially catching the virus, but also from a financial point of view.
It's this same group of older Australians who helped the Liberals win last year's election, collectively voting against Bill Shorten's franking credits. And as the federal government extends a helping hand to some, they're the ones being left out in the middle of this crisis.
Well, this exposes the great weakness in the Australian retirement income system.
Stella Todorovic for 10 News First.
Our legendary Greek festival, Paniyiri, was one of the big casualties of the coronavirus, but tonight we've got some good news. Joe Hill joins us now from the Greek Club. Joe, organisers have figured out a way for the event to go ahead.
Yes, George, it is with great satisfaction that we can report tonight that Paniyiri, like a plate-smashing phoenix, will rise from the ashes of coronavirus. But it'll be a little bit different. What they're going to do is they're going to have a 2-hour Facebook live event, so you can enjoy all your favourite parts of the Greek festival from the comfort of your own home. What do we mean by that? Have a look over here. There'll be cooking demonstrations. The sugar puffs, they go on, the honey puffs rather, they go on sale from tomorrow. You can get them from tomorrow morning. And come over this way, because what I reckon we've got here is the world's first socially distanced Zorba. It's going to be a fantastic thing and really important, I think, to sort of keep this event alive under the current circumstances. Now, we've got Cos from the organising committee. Mate, talk us through how important it was for you to give this new life.
Look, it was actually today that we should have been putting the fence around the park.
So we thought, you can't come to us, we'll come to you. But at the same time, you can come to Nostimor to get some great food, of course.
And talk us through what you've got on offer.
Well, look, there's lots of Paniyiri specials. Honey puffs are available from Thursday. So just check our website, Nostimor Restaurant, and you'll find all the specials there.
And what'll be on the Facebook event? What can people look forward to if they tune in?
Look, it's a bit of a snapshot of our festival. We've got live music, live cooking demonstrations. It'll be a teach me how to dance Zorba. So it'll be jam-packed, lots of fun.
How hard is it to learn how to Zorba dance?
Listen, after a few uzos, it's pretty easy.
That is fantastic. And mate, so how do people get on board? Where can they find it?
Look, if you just Facebook Paniyiri Greek Festival, it'll be there, or go to paniyiri.com. It'll also be linked on there.
And of course, you're looking forward to coming back bigger and better than ever next year?
Absolutely, twice as big.
Fantastic, mate. Thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for your time. Nostimo, thank you for the food. Georgie, for the time being, it's a yasu from us.
Oh, Joe, bring some of those honey puffs back to the newsroom. Thank you. Well, it is sport time now, Jono. Greg Inglis is back.
That's right, Georgie. He couldn't stay away. Thank you. Later on coming up, he signed up for a rugby league return, but will it cause trouble for the Rabbitohs? More next. Plus, why having an AFL hub at home might not be a good thing for the Lions. And New Zealand's Sports Minister fires a shot across the Tasman at the Wallabies.
Be simply clever and visit Mount Gravatt Skoda. With European styling and a host of clever features, once you experience a Skoda, you won't look back. Mount Gravatt Skoda. Simply clever on Logan Road, or visit mountgravattskoda.com.au.
Pete's prepped a life in lockdown that's jam-packed full of ISO laughs.
I appeal to the woman who has my son. Please give him back.
Someone might have been watching your house from up there.
What have you done? Who have you hurt?
Aggie, you came.
The secrets she keeps tonight after MasterChef.
They can clear our nose and soothe our throat, but they will never relieve our cough.
No, Willie. Vicks Vapor Drops.
Willie, I'm in the middle of something here.
Willie! Vicks Vapor Drops plus cough can relieve our cough now. Move along. Nothing to see here. Vicks Vapor Drops plus cough.
For 20 years, you've been fighting to save people money on their car and home insurance. Who are you?
Budget Direct, helping Australians save on insurance.
If you've been injured and can't work, your normal life and income can suddenly stop. Check if you have an insurance claim through your super online in minutes, so you can start again. With Slater and Gordon, tomorrow starts today.
Some people have more important things to do than watch racing on a weekend. Some people. Catch every race this autumn with Sky Live Vision. Tab, long may we play.
Gamble responsibly.
Muscle and osteo pain can really tie you down. That pain is caused by inflammation. Nurofen helps reduce inflammation and relieve osteo and muscle pain for up to 8 hours. Break free with Nurofen.
Even remotely, our home loan specialists can zoom into your home to help you save on your next loan.
Thanks to Queenslanders' hard work, further restrictions are being eased. This means more people can gather in homes and public spaces, at weddings, funerals and places of worship. People can travel further and restaurants, cafes and licensed venues can reopen to small groups. But it's important to continue social distancing and to wash your hands. If you're sick, get tested and stay home. By doing that, you'll keep everyone safe. Further easing of restrictions can only continue if we follow the rules and do the right thing. We're in a great state, so keep well, Queensland. Get tested if you're sick, and for more information, visit the website.
Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
What does being the #1 tennis player in the world taste like? Well, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit something like it would be. Yeah, That's it. Vegemite. Tastes like Australia.
It is the heart of the home. It's the heart of our family. We need it to last a long time.
We definitely make the whole process affordable and easy.
So to create the amazing look without the big prices, beautiful kitchens that look amazing.
One of the world's biggest food trends.
That's your best yet.
It is delicious.
Goes to a whole new level tonight on 10.
Welcome back. South Sydney has denied rorting the NRL salary cap system as Greg Inglis announced his comeback to rugby league. The Maroons legend has signed with UK Super League club Warrington Wolves with the blessing of the Bunnies.
It's been too long, Greg, and it seems he agrees.
Delighted to announce that I'll be joining Warrington Wolves in season 2021. Cannot wait to get over there to meet all your Warrington passionate fans.
426 days after retiring, GI is bringing back the goanna. He'll be 34 by the time he takes the field in the blue and gold of Warrington, but it's just a number.
You forget his age because he's been playing in the NRL for so long and at such a high level. I just don't think his body really got a chance to have a break. He was always working hard, and I don't think he would have signed if he didn't think he could perform.
Warrington have declared their signing of Greg Inglis as one of the biggest deals in Super League history, saying it's a gift for fans and sponsors doing it tough because of coronavirus. It gives them the mouth-watering prospect of Inglis taking on Toronto's Sonny Bill Williams, or trying to catch Catalan's Israel Folau. South CEO Blake Solly used to run Super League.
There's nothing like a big Australian or Kiwi signing to get the season ticket sales going and to get people excited about the season. I was fortunate enough to be over there when Andrew Johns made his debut at Warrington in 2005, and the stadium that day was crackling.
The Rabbitohs have rubbished suggestions they've played the salary cap. Inglis walked away with 18 months remaining on his contract, but every cap deduction and payment has been cleared by the NRL.
He wasn't a medical retirement. It wasn't a result of injury that he retired. I think he just lost his appetite for the game. He's been able to get away from the game, I suppose, refresh his body, refresh his mind as well. I think he's been through that process of getting really good treatment for any mental health issues.
All the Bunnies want is for Greg to be happy. If that means playing in Warrington, they'll be cheering from the other side of the world. Bence Hammerley for 10 News First.
Cody Walker has been cleared by police for his role in that street fight in the town of Casino. But there's been a bizarre twist to the blackmail saga. Walker's manager received a call demanding $20,000 or else the video would be leaked. It's now believed another player manager is part of the investigation.
Only listening to media this morning coming up, I heard that. I don't expect every single day an update in relation to those parts of the investigation.
Walker is still waiting on an outcome from the NRL's integrity unit. He may be fined or suspended. The injury-hit Warriors will ask the NRL for replacement loan players, but are long shots to accept offers from Paul Gallen and Sam Thaiday to come out of retirement. In Tamworth for almost 3 weeks, the entire squad thanked the town with a host of jerseys and a spine-tingling haka. The Warriors now head to Terrigal ahead of the season's return, where they'll play their matches at Gosford Central Coast Stadium. The Lions are embracing the idea of playing the first 6 weeks of the AFL season restart in Queensland. While some see it as an unfair advantage, players know they're likely to cop a big travel schedule late in the season.
There's no place like home, especially when all your training and games could be in the one place for the foreseeable future.
There's small advantages, yeah, you don't have the crowd, but we train here and we're here very often, so the ground dimensions and just the field place, it's definitely a small edge.
But there's sure to be a heavy price to pay.
There's going to be a catch-up later in the season where Brisbane have to travel to Melbourne or over to WA, something like that.
For a player like Daniel Rich in his 12th season, missing 2 months of football puts him in a higher risk of injury category, but that's not how he sees it.
Just gives you an extra couple of months to potentially freshen up and get ready for what's to come, because it's going to be pretty action-packed, I think, by the sounds of it.
You do get injuries at training, and I suspect across the board, once things get elevated, there'll be different types of injuries that pop up that haven't been there for the last 2 months.
For many, spending 8 weeks on the Gold Coast would be a dream. Not so for the relieved Port Adelaide.
The idea of 8 weeks away versus 4 weeks away is really quite significant. The potential for a shorter stay, is pretty appealing.
While on the coast, Lions fans will recognise this goal. No, it's not Jason Ackermanis, but Suns forward Isaac Rankin and his new blonde locks.
I just got bored. Jack Farrow did it for me, so I got bored at home and got peer pressured in.
But if his training antics are anything to go by, when he finally debuts, Suns fans are in for some Acker-style fun.
Yeah, hopefully I just set myself up to get selected and hopefully put on a show.
Josh McLean for 10 News First.
There's nothing quite like the Trans-Tasman rivalry, and the Kiwis have taken it up a notch. New Zealand Sports Minister Grant Robinson proved politicians do have a sense of humour with a cheeky shot at the Wallabies when asked about opening borders between the countries to play a Bledisloe series.
One of the gags going around, wasn't it, that one of the best things about coronavirus was that the Wallabies would have an unbeaten season.
That's just mean.
Not very fair at all. Let's hope he eats his words later this year, but for now, our play of the day goes across the ditch. Or the Dutch, if you're from New Zealand.
Very good. Thank you, Jono. Well, the rain is ramping up. Josh has all the details after the break.
It's one of the biggest food trends to hit the globe.
This box is a little bit different.
And what our MasterChef contestants do will take it to a whole new level.
That's your best yet. It is bloody delicious.
7:30 tonight on 10.
Controversy here in the forgot a grocery bag lifting. Russia disqualified. Unexpected item in the bagging area.
He tried to put that Evo through as a brown onion and got busted.
Go on.
At Devondale, we believe great milk comes from cows that graze free.
If you're worried about your actions or relationship, contact Men's Line for free confidential advice and counselling, online and by phone 24/7. There's no place for abuse or domestic violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Hyundai's end of financial year sale is on. Get great value across our eye-catching range. Like the Hyundai i30 hatch with the confidence of a 7-year warranty. And end of financial year bonuses on selected SUVs, including the Hyundai Tucson. And 7-seat petrol V6 Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundai's end of financial year sale. See it to believe it.
To help you get the most from the post during these difficult times, we've set up 15 temporary facilities to help deliver the 2 million parcels we're currently processing every day. For more, visit AusPost online, and thank you for your patience.
Lendy is helping thousands of households save on average about $2,832 in interest over the next year on their home loans. That's millions in savings for Aussies when they need it most. How can Lendy help you save?
The espresso capsule from Law, the aluminium capsule designed to fit your Nespresso machine. Discover Law capsules and be captivated by a gold standard espresso.
While we're all having nights in, make yours a big night in. Because this year you could win up to $8,000 worth of prizes from a huge range. Woolworths Big Night In. There's a new winner every day.
Controversy here in the forgot a grocery bag lifting. Russia disqualified. Unexpected item in the bagging area.
He tried to put that Evo through as a brown onion and got busted.
What will the new world order look like after the pandemic? Next.
It is weather time. Josh, rain developing tonight.
And Georgie, as we go live to air this evening, that rain is beginning to push across parts of the Sunshine Coast and the northern suburbs of Brisbane. We'll look at that radar image in just a few seconds. Firstly, the satellite tonight. We alluded to this last week, the warming trend in the eastern Indian Ocean. When you get the warmer sea surface temperatures, you get more moisture in the atmosphere, more evaporation, and that moisture is starting to drain down over the northwest of WA. And you can see the extensive cloud band we have as a result of that tropical air mass. And it's also colliding with some very cold southerly air coming up from the Southern Ocean due to a couple of cold fronts that have passed through in recent times. We've seen extensive damage across parts of South Australia and Victoria during the early hours of this morning thanks to these frontal systems. But let's concentrate on Queensland and first of all dive up into the tropical north. These rainfall totals have been extraordinary. To 9 o'clock this morning, Bulgan Creek near Tully, 339 millimetres into the rain gauge. Since then, a further 78 millimetres. So over the past 24 hours, that location has seen 417 millimetres of rainfall. That's nearly half a metre of water, and it's still coming down at the moment. But as we slip a little bit further south into southeast Queensland, you can see this rain developing over the Sunshine Coast during this morning and the early afternoon. It has then started to track in a southerly direction in over parts of Caboolture. Delaney's Creek has picked up 25 millimetres since 9 o'clock this morning, and even Upper Caboolture has seen 11 millimetres, and no doubt we'll continue to see these rainfall totals grow as we get through this evening. And this rain will track down over parts of Brisbane this evening and even extending across parts of the Gold Coast. There's certainly some big rainfall totals on the way. Let's look at the synoptic setup as we get through Thursday. We've got our trough of low pressure through inland parts of Queensland. That is starting to deepen at the moment, and it will be aided by an upper level trough, some colder air in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So certainly a dynamic weather system unfolding at the moment across the eastern seaboard. As you can see, late Thursday, that trough pushes offshore, so too the rain as we get through Thursday evening. But before that happens, we're going to see plenty of it. Showers and rain areas extending from the northwest of the state through much of central and eastern Queensland as we get through tomorrow. Embedded within this, we could even see the odd thunderstorm as well, but certainly some heavy rain on the way. The other feature we've got is a sheep graziers alert, which has been issued for the Darling Downs and Granite Belt. That is due to showers, rain areas, and also some cold westerly winds. So it could be detrimental for sheep herds, especially across that part of the state. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Rainfall totals, well, they'll be big again across the tropical areas of Queensland, upwards of 100 millimetres expected. And we are expecting some half-decent totals as well across areas of southeast Queensland. Interstate and Sydney tomorrow, we're looking at top temperatures 19 with rain on the way. Showers for Melbourne and 13, partly cloudy for Adelaide, sunny skies for Perth. Showers on the way for Cairns again tomorrow, especially for the Cassowary Coast further south. Atherton getting a taste as well. Overcast skies for Longreach and rain developing for Roma with 17 degrees. Rain extending from Rocky all the way through to Gympie. Now for the southeast, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be wet. Showers with rain areas, most likely from late morning. Overnight temperatures falling to between 12 and 15. Daytime temperatures reaching between 17 and 22. West to southwesters, 10 to 15 knots, reaching up to 20 knots through the evening, and the seas below 1 metre. Brisbane City, 23, rain at times tomorrow. You will need the brolly if you journey to and from work. And as we get through Friday, it begins to clear. Overcast skies on Saturday with 18 degrees. Rain on the way for Ipswich, and overcast skies Saturday. More details coming up shortly.
Our border battle turns into an all-out war as the Premier refuses to budge. It's still a month-by-month scenario, but struggling businesses fear they may never recover. What the nation's top medical experts think, why they say there's no need for the ban to remain. And dicing with death, our truckies paying a fatal price for keeping Australia moving. If the battle was brewing, today our border bans became all-out war. The Chief Health Officer won't even commit to a September reopening, while the Premier is making no apologies about it. Here's state political reporter Claire Barnes.
Well, the Premier is refusing to bow to pressure to reopen Queensland borders sooner. In fact, she's indicated it may be even longer than we expected. Anastasia Palaszczuk was forced to defend the ongoing decision to keep the state shut off in what was at times a heated press conference. It follows calls, particularly from the tourism sector, who fear some in the industry won't survive. But the Premier is standing firm, blaming the higher rates of community transmission in New South Wales and Victoria.
Let's be very clear here. Western Australia has a hard border closure. Northern Territory has a border closure. South Australia has a border closure. And Tasmania has a border closure. This is not unique to Queensland, folks.
Well, the government's own roadmap says interstate travel will be reviewed in July. It's since been pencilled in for September, but today the Chief Health Officer warned that could be ambitious.
Having said that, I can't even commit that September will be possible. It depends what happens between now and then.
What we're calling on the government to do is stick by what they've told tourism businesses and Queenslanders and stick to July. You can't flip-flop on this issue.
Well, overnight, Queensland recorded just one new case, and that's despite a record number of tests being carried out.
Delays will likely cost the Gold Coast another $500 million in lost tourism. As Matthew Howard explains, hotels are now having to cancel advanced bookings for July when interstate visitors thought they could return.
Since the border shutdown began, businesses here on the Gold Coast have been hanging on, desperately awaiting the day it's lifted. News, though, that it could be in place until September today shattered communities living in Coolangatta, where the impacts are hardest.
I've got a newborn baby, I have to provide, and let's lift the bloody restrictions and get on with business.
The loss of interstate tourists, combined with a drop of 99% in monthly passengers to the international airport, has left owners reeling.
We've had a loss of more than 80% of revenue through the cafe and the other parts of our business also.
Now the city's leading tourism body estimates it's about to get worse.
We know that single delay of 2 months in reopening the borders for Queensland will cost the Gold Coast tourism businesses $500 million.
Already hotel occupancy rates are down from 85% to just 4%, with advance bookings for past July now likely to be cancelled.
Ultimately, they're seasonal businesses and they desperately need those tourism dollars throughout the year.
For those still hanging on, reopening the border could bring immediate relief.
There's so much joy for myself and my staff and the whole community. We understand that the pressure has been on us all.
Mayor Tom Tate says while he accepts the advice of medical authorities, he's advocating for the border to be reopened sooner rather than later.
But the nation's top medical experts have just told us there's absolutely no reasons for our borders to stay closed. Our network political editor, Peter Van Onselen, has this special report.
It's been the encouraging theme of the crisis.
We'll get through this together, Australia. We will get through this together. We're all in this together.
But it turns out we're not. At least not when it comes to opening Australia back up.
That rationale for restricting travel on the basis of not wanting to spread it particularly to rural areas, no longer applies. Whilst that's up to the states themselves to decide, it's looking pretty thin from the medical point of view.
It's absolutely critical that we get the economy going.
New South Wales is open for travel on June 1.
Sydney will also be a major tourist attraction for people from all around Australia. We've got no restrictions.
Victoria seems to be following New South Wales's lead, but more slowly. Queensland's borders are staying closed as late as September.
I will always put Queenslanders first. We love you, but you can come a bit later.
Today, South Australia confirmed its border restrictions.
We've fought so hard to get ourselves to this position. We're not going to cede it by opening up our state borders too early.
It remains hard to get in and out of WA and Tasmania, and the Northern Territory Chief Minister, he says he may not even open the borders until there's a vaccine, all of which inhibits Scott Morrison's hopes of ramping the economy back up.
So the question is, can the Prime Minister intervene, especially given the medical experts say there's no reason to keep borders closed? Well, he can't, because in our federation, it's just not the PM's call.
That is a matter for the states. I personally, of course, don't want to see any restrictions in place for one day more than is necessary.
We might all be in this together, but the states are doing things for themselves. Peter Van Onselen for 10 News First.
Accused double murderer Christopher Puglia is due back in the state tonight after being extradited from Sydney. The case will go before a Queensland court for the first time tomorrow. Samantha Butler joins us now. Sam, do we know where he'll be taken?
Well, Georgie, we're expecting Christopher Puglia to arrive at the Pine Rivers Watch House within the next couple of hours, where he'll remain overnight. It was certainly a very long drive for Queensland police, who left Sydney first thing this morning. The 31-year-old is facing 2 counts of murder after his parents, Loris and Frank, were found dead inside their bed and breakfast north of Brisbane on Sunday afternoon. He's also charged with unlawful use of a motor vehicle, and his matter will be mentioned in Pine Rivers Magistrates Court tomorrow. Now, Georgie, police are appealing for anyone who was near the Joyner property on Saturday between 3 and 6:30 p.m. to come forward, particularly if they were near Todd's Road or Gordon Crossing Road.
Thank you, Sam, with that update. We have disturbing new data tonight that reveals our roads are becoming deadlier, with truckies paying the price. 53 drivers and passengers were killed last year, and it's other road users who are to blame.
A rig rollover in Brisbane's east leaves a big mess and an even bigger clean-up. Thankfully, the driver wasn't badly hurt, but not all are so lucky.
In 2019, we saw a 60% increase in the number of truck occupants, truck drivers and their passengers who lost their lives in truck crashes.
53 people were killed, an increase for the first time in 20 years, according to new data from National Transport Insurance.
This report is very sobering reading. Our truckies deserve a safe work environment. They don't deserve to be injured and to be killed.
The statistics reveal where things are going so horribly wrong. The most common cause of fatal crashes is fatigue, followed by driver distraction and speed. But in accidents where other vehicles are involved, often it isn't truckies who are to blame. Instead, it's car drivers who are overwhelmingly at fault.
They need space behind them, space around them, be aware of their blind spots. Secondly, put your mobile phone in the glove box. Driving is the most dangerous thing you're going to do each week. It deserves your full attention.
With travel restrictions easing, the fear now is we could see more serious crashes on our roads as traffic picks up again. Expect to see more police and more speed cameras catching out reckless drivers, putting others at risk.
We want you to get home safe. We want our drivers to get home safe.
John Paul Gonzo for 10 News First.
Coming up, Australian doctors and nurses to test Donald Trump's controversial drug against coronavirus. Also, the car thief who got too close to the fire, sparking a police manhunt on the Gold Coast. Plus, the public holiday push to make People's Day a long weekend. And in sport, why Greg Inglis is set to return to rugby league.
Will you feel safe enough to board planes when domestic travel takes off again? Plus our chat with the latest chef to hang up their MasterChef apron.
It's a difficult time for Aussie families. We can't change what's happening, but we can bring you something fresh and tasty. And when we do, you'll know that your family is helping ours. So thank you, from our family to yours.
At Drake's, the health of our customers and team is paramount. That's why we've partnered with Academy Services to use NanoSen, a natural spray that kills 99.9% of pathogens. Drake's are committed to providing our customers with a safe shopping environment.
Manolo, you're so cold. Come in. What's wrong?
It's dry.
Your scalp might get dry in the winter too. Try Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care. It nourishes the scalp and keeps you up to 100% flake-free. Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care.
Harvey Norman has everything you need for your home. Our spacious stores are open with great deals on big brand Australian-made mattresses and ensembles. Huge savings on bedroom furniture, including beds, bedside tables and tall boys. Great bargains for the kids' bedrooms. Choose from space-saving bunks, beds, desks and more. Time to get cosy with amazing prices across a huge range of Manchester essentials. Mattresses, ensembles, bedroom furniture and Manchester. Everything you need for your home. Browse online and shop safely in store. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go! The espresso capsule from Law, the aluminium capsule designed to fit your Nespresso machine. Discover Law capsules and be captivated by a gold standard espresso.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
At Terry White ChemMart, we're more than just open. We're open to helping any way we can. Like offering the safety and convenience of home delivery. Terry White ChemMart. Now that's real chemistry.
If you're struggling to balance work, life and family, you need to shake it up. Ensure Health Shakes help you get the nutrition you need to help your body build strength from within, with a prebiotic and antioxidants to support a healthy immune system, calcium and protein for muscle and bone health. Put more balance in your work-life balance. Shake it up with Ensure.
At Coles, you can rely on us for your corn chips and for fixing your chipped bumpers. With Coles Comprehensive Car Insurance, you get quality repairs you can trust. Search Coles Car Insurance today.
Not now.
I appeal to the woman who has my son. Please give him back.
Someone might have been watching your house from out there.
What?
She probably admires you in her own strange way.
What have you done? Who have you hurt?
Aggie? Hi. You came. I didn't know if we should bring him. I felt insensitive. No, it's okay.
The secrets she keeps. Tonight after MasterChef.
America has surpassed 1.5 million COVID-19 tests and the president is wearing it as a badge of honour. Donald Trump repeatedly claimed the only reason the number was so high was because the US is doing so much testing. He also hit back at both House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who said he was obese, and Barack Obama.
I think President Obama was one of the worst presidents in the history of our country.
The feud appears to have become so bad, Trump has refused to follow tradition and unveil his predecessor's presidential portrait. An anti-malaria drug made famous by Donald Trump will be at the centre of a coronavirus trial involving more than 2,000 Australian healthcare workers. The project is designed to test the US president's theory it can ward off the symptoms of COVID-19.
Hydroxychloroquine saved soldiers who contracted malaria in World War II. 75 years later, it could be a frontline weapon in the world's war on COVID-19.
So we feel that in the absence of a vaccine, until we get to that stage, that this could be a useful extra level of protection.
It's not a vaccine or a cure, but it may be a preventative. Australia's leading the world's largest trial to find out. More than 2,000 healthcare workers are taking part.
I'd love for it to work, but equally it's very important to show that it doesn't work if it truly doesn't work.
Donald Trump's copped criticism after revealing he's been taking the drug for 2 weeks.
It's had a great reputation, and if it was somebody else other than me, people would say, gee, isn't that smart?
In Australia, you can't get it without a prescription.
The government has put in very stringent restrictions around the use of this drug.
If no healthcare worker is infected with COVID-19 over the next 4 months, it will be difficult to determine whether that's because of our effective safety protocols or the trial drug is working. But that's an excellent problem to have. And it's why 50% of participants will be given a placebo.
In that sort of a trial, it's very clear that you can detect a difference between that is due to the drug and nothing else.
It comes as more than 100 Australians volunteer for the nation's first vaccine trial. But we're being told to be patient. A COVID cure is almost certainly at least 12 months away. Natasha Rexelby for 10 News First.
Police are hunting a masked man who blew up a car just metres from homes on the Gold Coast. The crook was captured on CCTV dumping a black Holden Beretta outside a driveway before dousing the seats with an accelerant that triggered an explosion. Firefighters were there within minutes and managed to quickly extinguish the blaze. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. A campaign to change the date of Brisbane's Ekka public holiday is gaining momentum. Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner is backing calls for this year's traditional midweek break to be shifted to either a Friday or Monday. Retailers are also supporting the move, hoping a new long weekend in August could help reignite our economy.
We know people are likely to go to the shops more, potentially to spend money, and if we do get that internal tourism dollar that we're looking for, that's incredibly essential.
The Ekka was ruled a no-show this year because of coronavirus. Well, Jono's back now with another look at sport.
Thank you, Georgie. Hello again. Cody Walker has been cleared by police for his role in the casino street fight, but the investigation into the alleged extortion attempt is ongoing. Emma Lawrence has the details.
Well, there's been a bizarre twist to this Cody Walker blackmail saga. During the week, a video emerged on social media of Walker kicking a man during a fight in December. Over the weekend, his manager received a call demanding $20,000 or else the video would be leaked to the media. There is a vital clue, though. The number was not on private, and now it's believed another player manager is part of the police investigation.
Only listening to media this morning coming up, I heard that. I don't expect every single day an update in relation to those parts of the investigation. 2
men have been charged for their role in the fight, but Walker has been cleared. He is still waiting on an outcome from the NRL's integrity unit. He may be fined or even suspended.
Cody's done what most of our players and what we always ask them to do. If they've made a mistake, it's important that they own the result and own the consequences and take whatever the punishment is. And anyone who knows Cody knows that what happened there isn't a reflection of who he is, but the way he's accepted responsibility is more reflective of his character.
We should have an outcome in the next day or so. There may also be amended breach notices for Josh Addo-Carr and Latrell Mitchell over breaking social distancing laws.
Emma Lawrence reporting there. Greg Inglis says he can't wait to get to Warrington after coming out of retirement to sign a 1-year deal with the Super League side for 2021. South deny they have played the salary cap, claiming he was forced to retire because he was burnt out, not due to injuries.
He wasn't a medical retirement. It wasn't a result of injury that he retired. I think he just lost his appetite for the game. He's been able to get away from the game, I suppose, refresh his body, refresh his mind as well. I think he's been through that process of getting really good treatment for any mental health issues.
He'll be 34 by the time he plays for Warrington, but former teammates believe GI wouldn't come back if he couldn't perform at a high level. Well, many AFL clubs are concerned by potential injuries when the season returns. Daniel Rich sees things differently. In his 12th year with the Lions, the veteran defender believes his time away from football could actually be a benefit.
Just gives you an extra couple of months to potentially freshen up and get ready for what's to come, because it's going to be pretty action-packed, I think, by the sounds of it.
Meanwhile, Suns forward Isaac Ranke is putting his hand up to finally debut after missing his entire first season at the club due to various soft tissue injuries. Reality could bite hard tonight in the virtual world of the Supercar E-Series at the speedways of Charlotte and Daytona, home of the famous 500. With his take on how they'll handle the high-speed oval track, here's rookie caller Andrew Jones.
Round 7 of the BP Supercars All-Stars E-Series tonight. The North American jaunt continues. We're going to head to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where the driving group are going to spend a fair portion of tonight turning left. 35 laps at Charlotte with no damage on. Imagine the carnage that's going to be caused. We'll then head to Daytona Motor Speedway and we'll go to the Rolex Daytona 24-hour course. Combination of an infield track with the banked high-speed turns. It's going to be pretty epic. Lando Norris, McLaren Formula One star, joins us for a 3rd week running. He's loving the Supercars E-Series. He had a win last week. So tune in on 10 Play tonight from 7 p.m.
Premier League players have reported back for work. The 20 clubs have been given permission to train in groups of 5 for a maximum of 75 minutes. And there is no one more excited to be back than current competition leaders Liverpool.
I was over the moon, I would say. I couldn't wait for a while now. I'm really happy that we are able to do this again. Going back to my word, having small group training, stuff like this will be intense for the coaches, especially because we have a lot of players in small groups, means a lot of sessions. But that's we had enough time to rest, so that we will be fine.
In the lead up to training returning, 748 players and staff were tested for COVID-19, with 6 people from 3 clubs testing positive. It certainly will be interesting to see if and when the Premier League actually restarts, Georgie, with everything going on.
There's so many rules to adhere to, isn't there? Thanks, Jono. Well, coming up, Josh has the latest on the rain developing across the southeast.
It's one of the biggest food trends to hit the globe.
This box is a little bit different.
And what our MasterChef contestants do will take it to a whole new level.
That's your best yet. It is bloody delicious.
7:30 tonight on 10. And the greatest dish ever seen in the MasterChef kitchen.
My God. Wow.
Is coming.
We're shaking things up, Queensland. With Containers for Change, you get 10 cents for every eligible drink container at your local container refund point. To find out where to cash in, visit containersforchange.com.au.
So many things can change in 12 weeks. One of the least to change, the vibrancy of your hair colour. Tresemme Colour Shine Flex. Sulphate free. Keeps colour more vibrant for up to 12 weeks. Hair defined by Tresemme. The rest is defined by you.
Jimmy's stores are open for business with the hottest deals in home entertainment. Like this Hisense 75-inch 4K smart TV for $19.95. And stock up on movies and TV shows with buy one, get one free on Blu-ray and 4K. Buy in-store, online, click and collect or get it delivered. JP, you've done it again.
Save 20% on your second policy when you buy new, eligible Suncorp home and car insurance together before July 10. Helping you save when you need it most. That's the Suncorp spirit.
As credit to you, here's up to $120 credit from us. Add any selected month-to-month mobile plan with Vodafone and get the credit you deserve over 12 months. Find out more at vodafone.com.au. Ready?
I was on the servo and I saw on the CCTV screen a balding bloke with the same jacket as me. But when I turned around, there was nobody there. And that was it.
Reached your turning point? The doctors at Ashley & Martin could help regrow your hair.
Quality, style, exceptional value. A Mazda stands out. At the Mazda Standout End of Financial Year event, get a Mazda CX-5 Max from $32,990 drive away. Search Mazda offers now.
Dear mind, you're hard at work all day. Remember to make time for you. Balance your commitments with quality me time. Enjoy every step. Connect or reconnect. And be good to yourself. Anytime, any place. Love from me.
Create a healthier relationship with your mind. Learn more at qld.gov.au/mental wellbeing. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of your dinner with some of the key ingredients for delicious beef and thyme burgers. Like Coles brioche buns, 4-pack, just $2.70 every day. And Coles frozen chips, 1 kilo pack, down to $1.90. With Coles beef and thyme burgers on Mix, Match and Save, any of these 2 packs for just $12. For more great recipes and weekly specials, sign up for the digital catalogue at coles.com.au. Coles, good things, great value.
Up next, as the US stumbles, China is taking advantage. How COVID-19 is reshaping the world order. As we start to look at domestic travel, how do we get back in the air safely? And meet the Aussie cruise ship workers stranded at sea with nowhere to go and no end in sight. Project next.
Time for a final weather check. Josh, a wet day on the way.
The rain's about, Georgie, that is for sure. In fact, it's already beginning to fall across the northern areas of Brisbane. Beachmere just recently picking up around about 25 millimetres into the rain gauge. As we take a look at the synoptic setup tomorrow, we've got our trough of low pressure through inland parts of Queensland. This system will begin to deepen as we get through Thursday, with the rain ramping up in and across parts of the state. This is the predicted rain chart as we get through tomorrow. We've got showers and rain areas extending from the northwest through much of central and eastern Queensland tomorrow. The red shading indicating those heavy falls. Already, as I mentioned earlier in the news, we've had massive rainfall near Tully, over 400 millimetres recorded in just the last 24 hours. We are expecting more heavy falls through the tropical north tomorrow. Showers, areas of rain, thunderstorms possibly across areas of the southeast inland, and we've also got a sheep graziers alert in place for Thursday and Friday for the Darling Downs and Granite Belt. Showers on the way for Cairns, Atherton and Townsville tomorrow. Overcast skies to Mount Isa, topping out at 20 degrees. But the rain will be ramping up for Roma, in and across Rocky, Bundaberg, Maryborough and Gympie for Thursday. Now for the southeast, it will be cloudy. Showers with areas of rain, most likely from late morning right through the afternoon and evening. Overnight temperatures falling to between 12 and 15 degrees, with daytime temperatures reaching between 17 and 22. We're going for 23 at Logan, 22 at Caboolture and only 15 degrees at Toowoomba. So those temperatures will be below average tomorrow due to the increased cloud cover and also that rain activity. Now for Brisbane, rain at times tomorrow with a tip top of 23 degrees. The good news is it should start to clear as we make our journey towards the weekend. So Friday looking a little bit better with partly cloudy skies and 20 degrees. A little bit overcast on Saturday, but it should be essentially dry with 18, 21 the top as we get through Sunday. Now for Ipswich, it's looking wet tomorrow. Rain at times, tops of 20 degrees. Much the same on Friday, hitting 20, but the skies will begin to clear. Partly cloudy, overcast on Saturday with 19, and those cool temperatures continue into Sunday before starting to warm up into Monday and Tuesday next week. Now for the Goldie, we're looking at rain tomorrow, 24 the top, 21, a cool one on Friday, partly cloudy, overcast skies Saturday, 19 degrees, 21 on Sunday, and some warmer temperatures Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. For the sunny coast, no surprises, rain on the way for Thursday, tops of 22 degrees, 20 on Friday, partly cloudy, overcast Saturday and 17, and a coolish day on Sunday. We're looking at temps up to 23 degrees Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So we're looking at a wet day for Thursday. Georgie, pack the brolly for your journey to and from work.
I'm looking forward to it, Josh. Thank you. Good forecast. That is 10 News First for now. For more details on tonight's stories, make sure you head to 10 Daily. But stay on 10. The project is next. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Tonight, as the US stumbles, China's taking advantage. How COVID-19 is reshaping the world order.
As we start to look at domestic travel, how do we get back in the air safely?
Meet the Aussie cruise ship workers stranded at sea with nowhere to go and no